Hey guys, so we have a kind of a bit of a disappointing video, at least for me today. Basically, uh, last weekend, and part of last week, Wednesday through Sunday, I was planning on filming just this epic, awesome, like professional grade montage, and of course, something had to go wrong, and ended up going through whoops at 65 to 70 and back end swapped out and was thrown from the bike pretty hard and basically landed on my shoulder pretty good and rolled and basically was totally out of control. My boot actually hit myself in the face. I remember that. It's just it was totally out of control. I couldn't see where I was going. I just saw my boot smash myself in the face and which doesn't feel good. And then it's basically a really rocky whoop section too. There's a lot of rocks, and I got really lucky with all the rocks. I pretty much the only scrapes that I got was just right there, which is not bad at all. And that was really lucky, but unfortunately I did end up breaking my collarbone. You can even see right here my shoulders slanted downward compared to being up like this. So I ended up breaking my collarbone and separating my shoulder um, with some cartilage damage in the shoulder. So and then yeah, so after I went off the bike, I was ran over right across my legs by the guy behind me, and that I don't know, I had a small bruise, but I pretty much feels healed up, but yeah, so basically, so I ended up breaking it right here at the where it connects to the sternum and the rest of my rib cage, and it was a straight through break. We went to urgent care on Sunday. This happened on Friday, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, there's you don't have a broken bone, but you separated your shoulder." So I'm like, okay, and he's like, here's a copy of the X-rays. We get home, we look at the X-rays. There's a break straight through the middle. Like I'll even add it if I can figure out how to get the X-rays on here because it's a confusing program to use. But there's like this straight through break, and like we called the Mac, we were like, um, you might want to double check those X-rays. Like my collarbone was broken. It was a straight through break and everything, like, and so they didn't really say anything. They just said, yeah, we could give you like a refund or something like that, but whatever. It was just stupid. And yeah, so pretty much ended up breaking my collarbone and separating my shoulder. So on that was on Friday. And then on Saturday they had a big ride planned to Randsburg, and I'm like, I want to go so bad. So woke up that morning, I was hurting, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to go on this ride. Took a few Advil and and what else did I do? Stretched a little bit and just got my shoulder kind of trying to get it not so stiff, and then hopped on the bike, went across the lake bed, and went probably a mile down, and I was hurting bad, obviously, but it was definitely doable. So I just, kind of putted to Randsburg and had fun. Ended up actually burning up the KDX because why I was riding the KDX though was first of all, the KDX is a lot more uh, forgiving than the KTM or my WR, but my WR was unfortunately screwed up pretty bad. Basically, the bars are bent, fork seal was blown too. There's a scratch on the fork tube, so fork tube might need to be replaced. Bent rim, little bend. It's the bent rim is fine. It's not that bad. It's not replaceable. Well, like we don't have to replace it. Um, the computer broke off, which is $300 alone. all the wiring up by the head, because the headlight broke off too, and all the wiring up by the headlight was all gutted out, and computer mount was all busted, the ignition mount's busted. It's a total mess. So yeah, it's gonna be expensive. So basically, the bike, wouldn't start or anything. So because the computer was ripped off and all the electrical is also tearing apart, so the bike wouldn't start. And basically hopped on the KDX the next day, rode that, and after the ride, I was feeling pretty good. It really loosened me up, and oh, I forgot to well, because I kind of jumped into it, the story of burning up the top end on the KDX. So basically, I got a flat, so we changed it on the trail there, and my dad had someone else hold up the bike, because where you have to lift the bike onto the kickstand, just because my shoulders all screwed up. I couldn't even lift it onto the kickstand and hold it there. What you want to do is you want to lift it onto the kickstand and then basically balance it there. And I probably could have, but someone was just being nice and doing it for me. So basically they turned off the gas because the bike is sideways. Well, they didn't tell me that they turned off the gas, which again, it's all, it's not their fault. Stuff like this happens. So with a two-stroke, when it's running like that, it runs lean, and there's not enough oil in the motor, and basically it ran way too lean because of that, and the carb drained, and wasn't enough oil in the carb, and so it basically ran without enough oil, and so the top end's probably wasted. It felt like crap, afterwards. But yeah, so on a 2000 KDX 200, it's not too expensive, so I'm not really worried about it. Mainly just worried about my WR, and yeah, that's gonna be an expensive fix for sure. That's gonna be probably $700 to $800. And then if the fork tube is screwed up bad enough, then that's gonna be really expensive. So stuff happens. It's just part of riding. You crash, you break stuff, and break stuff on the bike. So yeah. So basically, after the ride, I was feeling actually pretty good. It just kind of loosened me up, and so I hopped on the KTM, and didn't have any like GoPro footage yet, because I was getting mostly footage from my camcorder, and went and rode with the GoPro on, and just screwed around doing 100 miles an hour down the lake bed. The lake bed's nice and smooth, no big bumps, so my shoulder's fine. That's about all I did on the KTM. So you'll see some footage of me with my GoPro in the montage that I'm gonna post, probably even tonight maybe. And basically just that bike is so fast, just doing 100 miles an hour down the lake bed. Is I don't know why that's so much fun on that bike. The KTM, the advantages over the KTM compared to all the Japanese bikes, like my WR. And the WR is a fast bike, especially for a 450. That 5-valve motor design is just awesome. It's nice and torquey in the low end, and then just nice smooth power after that. And it's still pretty smooth in low end, but I like more of an aggressive low end, so it pretty much is spot on. Besides, it needs more top end, so eventually I'll probably put some hot cams in it. But yeah, so other than that, it's an awesome bike. I really like. Oh, well, actually, forgot to, because I was talking about the KTM, the advantage over that. So the KTM, they all the KTM's, all the trail KTM's, that is the desert KTM's, have a 6-speed transmission, and basically you're able, without gearing it higher, without putting a bigger sprocket or anything, you're able to have a lot higher top speed and not lose all that low end like you would be when you would gear a bike higher. Sorry, the dog is down there. um, yeah, so my WR, I'll probably throw a set of hot cams in it and end up gearing it a little bit higher. Hopefully get a little bit more top end performance out of it, and hopefully get to 90 miles an hour with the bike. So I want it to at least be a 90-mile-an-hour bike. I want, it's it is a fast bike. It does about 75. Um, and if I really pushed it past where you're supposed to, we could probably get it a little bit faster. But it does 75 comfortably. Oh, that's pushing it. Um, so yeah, it's an awesome bike though, no complaints. But the KTM is just awesome. So. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So it sucks. I was gonna plan on starting to race this coming weekend, but now I can't. So who knows? There's a hare and hound on the schedule coming up that I'll probably make it to, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So really looking forward to it. I've never raced a race once, and I honestly believe that I could reach red bar, which is expert level, in 2 years at the top, at the most. I mean, like 2 years tops to get to red bar. So, um, that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. And ow, that hurts to grab the mouse.